Listen. Oh, you're such an asshole. Okay, I was not expecting that. That was a good one. Oh my God, you should not have that kind of heartburn at the age of 31 or whatever you are.
For audio listeners, normally we open beers at the beginning. I just had to open some Tums. Now I'll open my beer. I just had a giant burrito.
Oh God,
So,
you eat the worst things before you do these podcasts. It's really weird that you want to eat like the like most heartburny, you know.
I didn't think about it.
That's
It
like
was delicious.
It's a recurring theme here. So
that was good though, right?
That was really good. I did not expect that.
So like 5 minutes ago, for those of you watching, I'm now recording in my third location. I'm recording in my old childhood bedroom because I'm staying here until I sell my old house, which should be very soon, hopefully. But so I go downstairs a few minutes ago and I'm like, Mom, y'all got any Tums? And she's like, yeah. And I grabbed it and I was like taking it upstairs. She's like, why are you taking that upstairs? I was like, I'm doing a bit. Don't worry.
Does she know what a bit is?
I don't know.
She probably is like, I'm going to do a bit of them.
No, she said, I'm going to stay down here. It's like,
I'm scared of what you're going to do later if you're taking those now.
I don't know what you're doing up there.
All right. Why don't you introduce that one?
Okay. Yeah. So
check out the shirt.
Oh, what a coinky dinky.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he has on a Birdsong shirt. I am actually drinking a Birdsong beer. Birdsong is out of Charlotte. This is one of my favorite breweries up there. This is their flagship. It is the Jalapeno Pale Ale, and it is absolutely delicious. And I haven't had it in probably about 5 years, so I am very excited for this. It's got just the right amount of jalapeno kick to it. Yeah. And then it just finishes like a really smooth pale ale.
It's delicious. I actually sell that beer, and I can tell you from having had cans fall off the truck and explode at some point, that is maybe the worst beer to get on you and have on your skin while you're trying to do it.
Because it does it's got straight up jalapeno in it. Like you can feel it in your mouth and in your throat.
And then you smell like a jalapeno for the rest of the day, and that's not fun at all. So it's something that has happened more than once. Because
if you got it on your hands, you got to like adjust your junk or something.
Well, hopefully you wash your hands before you do that, but
Yeah, but I mean, even if you wash your hands afterwards, like peppers stay there.
It's not quite as bad as like when you do the hot sauce. It's like you have to sign the waiver for, and you can't touch your junk.
Don't touch your face for a month.
Yeah, basically. I'm going a little different this time. It's going to be our, I think, third time we've had these guys on the show. This is an Untitled Art.
Oh, Untitled Art. Okay, I was going to say New Serum.
No, I think we've had New Serum on here more than once, or more than 3 times. This is Untitled Art, but this is their seltzer. If you can see that.
That is not a seltzer.
It is.
It's not a seltzer.
Well, it's an imperial seltzer, so it is 9%. A seltzer that's 9%. Think about that.
It looks pretty. It's like dark pink. It's like a magenta almost.
It's basically purple. And it's vanilla blackberry lime.
Okay.
So I have not had this. The last time we had Imperial or Untitled Art on here, it did not go well.
Yeah.
We're gonna give them another shot. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
That one's better.
Oh yeah.
Better than the milkshake or the smoothie.
The smoothie. This is really good. This is dangerously good. Does not taste like 9%.
Oh, this one is. Let's see. I don't know what the percent on this one is. I don't see it.
I think it's.
Oh, there it is. 5.5.
It's like 5. Yeah, 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah. So
good stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I should say this is in conjunction with Hidden Springs Ale Works.
Oh, really? That's the one I keep talking about in Tampa.
Nope. This is out of Waunakee, Wisconsin.
Huh?
I'm sure there's more than one Hidden Springs. It's got like
but
it's got a penguin on it. Dude,
that's Tampa. That is Tampa. That's the Hidden Springs Ale Works in Tampa.
Oh, okay. Maybe Untitled Art is out of.
I bet it is.
Maybe that's probably what it might be.
Okay, yeah, dude.
Hidden Springs Ale Works. This is the combo. They did it.
Cool. Okay, that's exciting.
Cool.
I love Hidden Springs. Like that is my and it would be way too much of a like I could imagine another Hidden Springs somewhere, but another Hidden Springs Ale Works like
with a penguin
with
as
a
the
penguin
logo.
logo. That is just
That's delicious.
we're living in an
That's not
alternate
the one
reality.
that's not the one that lost its location, right?
No, that was Brew Bus.
That's
Hidden
right, Prodeus.
Springs. Hidden Springs is still there, and they're the ones they're the ones that do the shitty tattoos on the cans.
I've
You
never
remember?
seen it.
No. Remember, I was telling you about like the pizza. And
Oh
the
yeah.
rockets.
Like the intentionally bad.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's
Yeah.
cool. This is delicious. So I feel like maybe that's a little bit of their stuff creeping in.
2 Coinky Dinkies in a night.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I am always going to call coincidences Coinky Dinkies.
We are mature men here.
Yeah.
The 30-year-old men.
Hmm.
So what's been going on? We haven't had a cast in about a week and a half.
Yeah, dude, we've been busy. We've hung out a few times.
We have been talking about recording a few times and haven't been able to pull
because we've gotten too drunk. We've got.
You're not wrong.
We were gonna record the other night, and then I just ended up passing out on your couch.
Yeah, that's true. But that would have been a real shit show of a podcast. I'm telling you right now. I don't know how that one would have turned out.
Yeah. So, just a little update. We do kind of, even when we're not doing gaming and drinking, we're still gaming and drinking. We went to the Transmission Arcade Bar in Columbia. That place was pretty cool. I dug it. I was really excited that they had the ice cold beer game, which is basically, for those of you that don't know, ice cold beer is like a barcade game
from the 70s, right?
I think it's from either the 60s or the 70s. And basically you've got 2 levers and a bar, and each lever raises one side of the bar, and you've got a marble that balances on the bar, and you're trying to get the marble up an increasingly difficult labyrinth.
I'm going to blow your mind here. It's actually from 1983.
Really?
Yeah, it does not look like a game from 1983.
It looks like it's straight out like 72.
Yeah, you're talking like post Space Invaders, post asteroids, post all that stuff at that point. So that's.
I bet that game was at dive bars across America.
Well, we should say it's an analog game.
Yes.
Right. So
yes.
It's not digital. It's not using any kind of like pixels or anything like that. So it's not like traditional, arcade game that you would think of after like a post Pac-Man era type thing. It's very much like I don't even know how you would describe it. It's got the rings that they fall down or they pop up. I can't remember. I didn't get to see it in action because the game didn't work.
No, it's just a marble that kind of slides back and forth on this rail.
But does it go down or up?
It goes up. You're trying to move up, and then there's like all these little holes in the back of the board that the marble can fall through. Gotcha. And you're trying to avoid those holes until you get it to the very top, and then you want to put it in that tippy top hole.
Looks cool. I wish we got to play it.
Yeah, it stole my quarter instead. So
it stole 2 of your quarters.
Stole 2 of my quarters, and so yeah.
Tokens, sir. Tokens.
Yeah. So Transmission, fix that game. It's awesome. I want to play it.
Yeah, I do want to play it. I want to see it in action. Clearly, we weren't the only ones because wasn't there like 16 credits it had in it or something like that? So
yeah, it already had a full stack of credits in there. Like my tokens didn't do anything.
We weren't the first people to attempt this.
The bar was like stuck like at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
What else? There was one other game that took my coins. I can't remember which one.
It was the. Oh man, it wasn't Gauntlet. Okay, so let's go through the games we played there.
Oh yeah, Gauntlet.
We played. We started with Marvel vs. Capcom 1.
2.
And that game was awesome, but it was like really poorly lit. The backlight or the not LCD, the screen, whatever screen it was using was clearly not working like it was supposed to be because I could barely see the screen at all. Yeah. But still a great game, still a fun game. The matches, I will say, took forever. I don't remember the matches going on that long. I think they might have set it to like the highest
like health handicap
setting. Yeah, like you can do with some fighting games. And that was cool. And then we played Gauntlet Dark Legacy, which I remember coming out on some console.
Was it Dreamcast?
It looked like a fucking 64. Actually, it might have been.
I'm looking it up.
I don't remember.
It came out on PlayStation 2, arcades, Game Boy Advanced.
That must have been the Game Boy Advance version they had.
GameCube, Xbox,
Xbox One, but not Xbox One.
Yeah, the
Xbox OG.
Yeah, Xbox OG.
And boy, that game is fucking awful.
It's
like,
real
it is
bad.
terrible. I have never played a game in an arcade. Well, that's not true. I'm sure I've played many bad games in an arcade, but that game,
that one is rough.
And it did this thing that maybe arcade games did this back in the
Your
day.
health just automatically drains the entire time.
And maybe I don't remember that because I have like nostalgic, like rose-colored glasses on for them. But I do not remember any game that just said like, "Fuck you, we're gonna take your health
put
down."
Some more quarters in.
Like we're just gonna literally kill you slowly as you're walking through these poorly designed dungeons with these controls that barely work. So then we cleansed our palate with the baseball. It's not RBI baseball.
Yeah, it's another mechanical game.
And that game is. I'd forgotten how much I like that game.
I used to play that game with Amy a lot in Tampa. That game, or no, in Orlando they had one.
They had that game at like my local Pizza Inn.
It's a great game.
Awesome.
Let's see. I'm trying to. Baseball arcade game from the 90s. No.
It was like Batter Up.
Mechanical baseball arcade game. Let's see. Let's see what Google says.
There's only going to be a few of those. There can't be that many.
Valley Dynamo. Also, no.
That's not it. Maybe that was the designer, but
I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's a cool like RBI baseball game where like you have a pitcher, it's two players. You have one of your players is pitching, and you've got like 4 pitches to choose from. You got a slider, a curveball, a changeup, and a fastball.
You have like a mechanical bat at the bottom that you.
Yeah, and then you got the batter who is literally just hitting the swing button, and then he's like and it's just
like a ping pong paddle that looks like a bat that you're trying to send the ball, and the outfield is like a bunch of different guys, and depending on what display they give you, it's either going to be like a single, double.
Yeah, and you're trying to aim. You're trying to aim on a different square in the back to get your singles or your base hits.
Great names like it was Mike
Schlitz.
Mike Schlitz. That was so good. That game was great. That was a good palate cleanser after Gauntlet Dark Legacy. And then we played. It wasn't the New Cruisin', was it? It was. Did we play the New Cruisin'?
No.
Oh, that was at a different. That was somewhere else. That was at that bowling alley. Then we played the off-road. Was it not off-road rally?
Dirt Rally.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was off-road rally.
Was it off-road rally?
Yeah, it was a Neo Geo game.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it was off-road rally. That game was good.
Yeah, that one's fun. That was after a few beers, and I was like, "This is why I don't drink and drive," because I was going like just sideways into the wall.
There was some really weird rubber banding in that game too.
Yeah,
like for sure, real bad rubber banding. That was fun. It was a fun little arcade experience we had.
Oh yeah, good times, and they had awesome food there too. I had I had a banh mi wrap, and it was delicious.
Yeah. They have good food.
It was a pork rib banh mi too.
Really good beer in there as well.
Yeah.
So
dug that. And then we also went and checked out Bang Back Arcade in Columbia, which, to be honest, as someone that loves video games, Bang Back is cooler than Transmission. And it's just because, dude, those tables they have in there are so sick.
Yeah, well, they have all brand new. Basically, they have Stranger Things. They have
Rick and Morty.
Did they have the Led Zeppelin tables
Mandalorian, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. They had Monster Bash, Star Wars, Star Trek. The Star Trek with Chris Pine, which I thought was kind of weird. I was like, if I'm playing a Star Trek game, I want to play like.
Yeah, but you got like the people these days know those characters by their current iterations more than the old school
I guess.
Ones.
Yeah.
Or I guess former current.
But the Stranger Things table was a super cool setup. They're super creative there. Like whoever owns that place, super creative. Fred, sure. Yeah, Fred, cool guy. But he's super.
You met him.
Oh, was that the old guy running around playing? Yeah, okay, yeah, he was awesome. I like that guy.
Yeah, that's Fred.
So, I hung out there for hours, dude, and I went back to the Stranger Things table, and it's like tucked away in the back corner, and you can't even see the table from like the rest of the play area.
They have like a black cloth over it, and
yeah, they made a like, I don't know if you've watched Stranger Things. In the first season, they do a lot with bed sheets. They do a lot of forts and things like that. So they made like this bed sheet fort that has all the taped up letters all over the outside, and it looks like
Winona Ryder's living room when she does the letters thing.
Yeah. And then when you go inside of it, it's like dark sheets and like that looks like a dark forest, make it look like the upside down.
Upside down, yeah. It looks
and they
just
have
like upside down.
They have like fake foliage over the top, and they do all this in such a small space. And it's like, man, you guys really.
It's not more than probably like 10 feet down and maybe like 4 feet across. Like,
it's they
not
crushed it though. It's so cool what they did with that. Like that was super creative, and that table's really cool too. There's actually a Demogorgon that pops up in the middle of the table. You hit the ball right into his mouth, and it kills him.
That table is really, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bangback's an awesome place. Also, great beer there as well, and good food if you ever get a chance to eat there. I don't think you did, but
no, I didn't eat.
They do a lot of good food there. So
I think Thursday is they put all the tables on free play. By the way,
is it Thursday or Wednesday?
I don't know, one of those. But we should go for one of those nights
for sure,
because it's $1 a play otherwise, and that's kind of steep.
We might go live on TikTok or something. I don't know how to use TikTok, but
they actually had a streaming setup there.
Yeah, over
for the Mandalorian table. They had a camera looking at the player, a camera looking at the scoreboard, and a camera looking at the playfield.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had
MacBook set up.
Yeah, and then they had a stream table set up right with a PC on it, like right beside it. It's like, damn guys, y'all are really y'all are just like, I went in there and I was like, these are my people. Like, these are my fellow nerds that I could come and just nerd out with and not care.
And not get judged by it and have people be like, who are these nerds in here?
Yeah.
Because everyone's a nerd in there.
Exactly.
The streaming setup, though, I think was done by somebody else, like the South Carolina Pinball Association or something like that. Because there's a guy.
There's like a pinball librarian dude or whatever.
Yeah, he goes around to different places and does all that stuff.
Langston, who we played Descent with the other night, actually used to be good friends with that guy and used to go to his house and play like free pinball all the time.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm sure he has a bunch of tables in his house and whatnot.
Yeah, it was like an underground pinball arcade type deal.
I was on like their Facebook page for a while before they before Bang Back became a thing. There was only like a few places you could play like good pinball, and they would like find the different locations and post about them and stuff. It was a cool little page.
Yeah, Langston, I remember back in college, he'd be like, "Yo, you want to go play pinball at this guy's house?" I was like, "That sounds weird. No, that sounds like I might get murdered. I'm good." But turns out he's just a really big pinball enthusiast.
Yeah, just
not trying to kill you.
Well, I mean, jury's still out on that. We don't really know, but I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
So speaking of non-pinball things, like murder, apparently, what have you been playing?
Let's see. Let me go back into this Google Doc. I've been playing a few little things. Been revisiting some stuff, but first, let's go into the one new game I've been playing, which is Mario Golf Super Rush.
Now, I've heard very mixed reactions, mostly leaning negative towards this thing.
I started out feeling very positive about it, and I was like, these reviews are garbage. Everyone sucks. But the more I play it, the more I'm kind of leaning toward the negative side, and I hate that so much. Because I want to like a Mario sports game. I tried so hard to like Mario Tennis. Yeah. I didn't really like Mario Tennis. It was okay.
Yeah, same here.
And I'm playing this, and I want to like it. I like the mechanics of it are fun, but just there's all the trappings and stuff around it just are so bland.
So let me ask you this: were you a fan of like the GBA?
Oh yes.
In the Game Boy. So you like when Camelot made the like more RPG style?
No. I actually will say I liked the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube Mario Golf. So those are the ones that I played before.
I know the first two were like RPG games. It was the Game Boy Advance one because that was like the first one, and then I think the 64 one was also like an RPG, and then they changed it up with like the GameCube version and made it like more of a Mario Kart arcade type game.
I don't think Golf 64 was an RPG. I don't think so. I really only played multiplayer. I would go and like play couch versus with my friends.
Gotcha.
So I don't think I actually owned it. I think it was my buddy Keith that owned it. So there might be RPG elements to it, but all I remember is just playing the multiplayer version because I was such a huge Hot Shots fan too when I was a kid on PlayStation 1.
Right, yeah, and Hot Shots is great. It's weird that they haven't been able to, because like I feel like since the 64 or maybe the GameCube version, I think people like that one, but like since that one, they haven't really pulled off a Mario Golf that everyone seems to really like. And it's really weird because Hot Shots, every time they do a new one of those, everybody loves it. They even like the Everybody's Golf.
Well, I do like Everybody's Golf. I remember, but one thing I will say that the biggest negative is I bought Everybody's Golf VR because we were going to play VR golf against each other. That was going to be so sick. But there's no online multiplayer in that game. And that is such garbage. Like why would you not do that?
That's the VR version. I can understand like why they didn't go.
I don't.
I mean, I'd rather
at all.
Have it,
like, could you imagine how awesome it would be like for us to not only play golf against each other, but then to be able to like hop in a golf cart and go drive around on a golf course.
Now, speaking of that, okay, bring it back to Mario Golf.
Yeah,
that is one of the biggest complaints that I've heard about this game is that have you played the rush mode? You know what I'm talking about?
I've played against AI. I haven't played any multiplayer of that.
So you're like running.
Actually, no. I played against Amy one time while I was in Florida.
So you're running through the levels, right? Like to your ball.
Yeah.
And you can like interact with the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
But it seems like people don't like that as much because you're having to. Like it takes too long to get from each one as opposed to like warping to your shots like you would in a regular golf game.
I think it adds a nice, fun little layer to it. It's a fun little race. It's not just the amount of strokes, or the speed. It's a mixture of both because you've got your base time that it takes you to take your shots and get done with the hole. Say it takes you 2 minutes to get done with the hole, but then it also takes you 3 shots. Every shot that you take adds another like either 10 seconds or 30 seconds to your total time. So like if you take 4 shots and you took 2 minutes, then that's going to be like a 4-minute hole.
Got you. That's a cool concept.
So it's pretty neat. And there are different like abilities that the characters have that you can like troll the other players and try to mess them up. And that's a lot of fun. Like, what's his name? Wario actually summons a storm cloud over like an area of the hole. And like, if everybody's balls are there, it like just lightning strikes everybody. And like,
so what you're saying is that Wario literally just goes and strikes everybody's balls whenever
he strikes everyone's balls. No, what he does though, his special is so powerful because like basically what his does is the next time you're trying to hit the ball, you either like the top of your like power meter has like something covering it, and if you accidentally hit the ball too hard, lightning will strike you and you just lose a stroke and you have to hit from there again. Okay. and then there's other ones that just like you got King Bob-omb, and his like special is it just like he drops a bunch of bombs all over the golf course that like blow up their golf balls and just send them flying.
Like King Bob-omb is like just a regular ass.
He's a character, dude.
That's really good. That's awesome.
Yeah, King Bob-omb's in there, and I'm a big fan of that. So like the characters, I think there's like 16 characters or something like that, which is a pretty good list. Mm-hmm. So like that's
awesome. Yeah.
There's good aspects, and like the playing of the golf is fun. The main complaint I actually have about it is the campaign story mode. Is just super boring. Like
it's basically like a glorified tutorial, right?
Basically, and you have to do it if you want to play the full game because all the courses are locked behind the campaign.
I hate when games do that. Nintendo is particularly bad about doing that stuff. Like you're like they don't do it with like Mario Kart or anything, but they'll do that with like a lot of the like offshoot games they do, where like Splatoon and the arms games, and like if you don't play like a certain amount of the single player stuff, you can't get to the cool
Yeah,
multiplayer
tennis did the
unlocks.
same thing. Like
Tennis did it.
and the tennis campaign was so long that like by the time I got done with the campaign, I was burned out and didn't want to play it anymore.
What doesn't Smash Brothers do something similar to that too? Like where you have to play like a single player.
Yeah, actually, you had to unlock the characters by playing the single player.
That is dumb. I mean,
Yeah.
I know most Smash Brothers players will like they're gonna play the campaign anyway.
I did it, and actually, there's a way to cheat that too.
Oh yeah, but you shouldn't have to. You know, like it should just be unlocked from the get go. Like don't. That'd be like if Mortal Kombat was like, all right, you can't unlock.
It was like save the game on the character select, and then turn the game off, and then turn it back on, and then load up a new save, and then you got a new character. And you just do that like 30 times to get all the characters, and it took like 2 hours. Yeah, I just played it. I just played it.
You should not have to jump through hoops to play the multiplayer game the way you want. I think GoldenEye and like Perfect Dark had similar things like that too, where you couldn't like. I know GoldenEye did because remember you would have to like.
Oh, dude, that GoldenEye campaign was so good.
Actually, some of the stuff they did
so good.
The GoldenEye stuff was more like rewards that you could use in the campaign. We'll get to this later
in the multiplayer.
Show, yeah, like it was like if you do the because you remember how it was like objective based, and like the harder the difficulty, the more objectives you had.
Yeah.
And like I could be.
And then also the enemies got spongier, and you got
a little bit spongier, but it was more.
Yeah, it was easy. You died easier.
You definitely died easier. But it was more that you had to like, you know, like the opening level with the dam. You would have.
There's lots of time stuff, wasn't there?
Yeah, you have to like disarm the bomb within a certain amount of time. You would have to disarm like more than the one bomb. You'd have to like find multiple. I thought that was a really cool way to do objectives and stuff. And again, we'll get to this later when we talk about the 64. But like that kind of, you don't see that in first person shooters anymore, where, you know, they give you like objectives to like complete and like depending on instead of making things like harder, making enemies spongier, just doing that, they give you like more stuff to do within the level.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a cool concept, but yeah, I know Perfect Dark had like some unlocks that you had to do like through the campaign and
yeah, but it's gotten a lot more egregious. I feel like
yeah, this sounds
in more recent times. Like if you don't do the campaign, then you could literally there's only 8 courses in the whole game. It's either 6 or 8. I think it's 8. But if you don't do the campaign and you just want to play like multiplayer or whatever, you only get 2 courses. Like you get the first 2, and then the rest are all locked. And I had to play about an hour of the game just to unlock one more course.
Oh my God.
And it's such a boring like tutorial. And the game is pretty simple. It's Mario Golf. It's like you hit A again at the top of the meter. You hit up, down, left, to right for spin and slice and the
whatnot.
And the whatnots of the golf.
The golf.
So it's pretty cut and dry. Like once you play 2 holes, you know how to play the game. Like,
so do you think this game would benefit from like some more like Mario Kart-esque wackiness? Like maybe some more like power-ups?
Yes, I think that if you could, so you get every character has their one special shot. And then like while you're running through the course, you can collect coins, which charges up your special faster. You can also, if you press the left bumper, then you use like a special star sprint kind of thing that makes you run really fast. And you can also like hit other characters.
Yeah.
But so that's it. You get your one ability and your one little run, and that's all you get. Like it would be so much cooler if it was like Mario Kart, where you're picking up power-ups as you're going. Like, why not? Why not? You're already so close to there. You're like there.
Well, because you're not doing like a pure game of golf on the one hand, right? You know, like it's not like.
Oh, and the golf holes are so bananas, dude. Like it doesn't make any sense. There's like so
it's like a Mario Kart course almost, where they make it like, you know, like a chocolate, you know, the chocolate donut.
It's not even. No, I don't mean like goofy, wacky bananas. I mean like the layout of this course makes no sense because, like you'll have the hole like down here, then you'll have your tee box down here, holes up here, but then there's also a fairway that goes straight to it, but then there's also a fairway that goes around this way and then goes back up and then like, this way. And
it's like a wave race level, but
why would I not just hit it straight toward the hole? Yeah. Like
that is. I like see. Okay, so that's what I envisioned. Like what I said about the you know that level of Mario Kart, like the chocolate donut, whatever level.
Yeah. How like
Or
all the paths like go over each other and stuff.
yeah, and you have like the little things falling down and like getting in your way, obstacles and stuff like that. Like that's what I imagine that this game should be, and then like with power ups in it as well. Because if
and
you're
they were
gonna do
so
like
close to getting there with so much stuff, but they didn't quite pull off really anything except for just the basic golf mechanics.
And if it's just a basic golf game at that point, like it's not going to be enough for Mario fans, and it's not going to be enough for golf fans. Like
exactly,
you're kind of like splitting the difference between the two and not satisfying either one of them.
Yeah, and I think that's where it lands. But as a golf fan and a Mario Golf fan, I still enjoy playing it. Like I don't hate it. But it's just all the trappings around it are super bland. That's kind of my takeaway from it is, I'll pick it up and play it every now and then. Definitely shouldn't have paid $60 for it. But I'm a sucker for Mario sports games. Like I said, they need to bring back Mario Strikers. Nintendo, bring back Mario Strikers.
We're starting the campaign now. Let's give them that gaming and drinking.
Oh, and I also correction from the last episode. I was saying that you pick an entire golf team because I went back and I was like, do you pick a whole golf team or you just pick the one character and then you get like Goombas or something? So
you mean soccer team?
Yeah. What did I say?
No, golf team.
Oh yeah.
Soccer like golf team.
No, so like I went back and watched like a stream of Mario Strikers, and it's actually you pick your one character and then like it fills in the rest of your team with I think it was Hammer Bros and Koopa Troopas with the match I watched.
So you're not like it's not like 8 named characters versus 8 named
characters? It was like one named character and then a bunch of side characters versus one main character. Yeah, I think I'm looking back on it.
If they did a new one,
right? Nintendo, but dude, Nintendo's going to go back to the well. They're going to go back to the well. You're going to pick your one character. You're going to have your Koopa Troopas.
If it's like this game and Pokemon Snap and all those other games, it's like we're just going to basically make the same exact game again, but with like modern, like that. The fact that Pokemon Snap 2 or whatever, the new Pokemon Snap, whatever the fuck they call it, is still like a rail-based game that you repeatedly play the same level over and over again to advance. That is crazy that they did that. And I get that like they're like, oh, we're trading on the nostalgia of the people that played this game back in like 1996 or whatever, but it just seems so weird that you wouldn't update that at all to be like, we're going to let you roam around. Like even Bug Snacks, which had maybe half the budget of that game, let you just roam around and like had a story or on an island, like all this other stuff. And like that game was just ripping off Pokemon Snap, but they were like, we're going to do it a little bit better.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't do that, especially with the popularity of Pokemon Go, where you see Pokemon out in the environment and stuff like that. Like people like to explore and look for Pokemon. Let them explore and look for Pokemon. Like I cannot believe that they did that. And that seems to be their prevailing like philosophy on these types of games. Like Mario and Zelda, their core franchises, they knock those out of the park every time. But these
spin-off games.
Yeah, the spin-off games. Even Mario Kart to an extent is basically still just the same game from 1993.
Yeah, I mean they literally go back to the same courses. I mean they kind of change up the turns, but it's like here's Rainbow Road, here's Sherbert Island or whatever. Here's Chocolate
why
Mountain.
That probably is? Like I think it's because when they try to do something different, like Mario Double Dash, people fucking hate it.
Mario Double Dash was good.
No, Mario Double Dash is great, but like if you look at it, go
when
back
it came out.
Yeah, like people really were mad at that game because it was so different than the other games.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they're stuck in a rock and a hard place there. Like if they revamp it too much, people are gonna be angry. If they do the same thing, people are gonna be angry. It's like they've got to hit a sweet spot.
Look what they did with Breath of the Wild. They made it a completely brand new type of game that isn't really anything like the other Zeldas, and it blew everyone away. So I think they could do it. I think they're just scared. Nintendo make more modern versions.
You cowards! You cowards!
Put Kratos in Smash.
Do it.
Put Jack from Final Fantasy, the Stranger of Paradise in Smash. You cowards. that bland white guy. They've already got 2 Final Fantasy characters.
Put Chaos in Smash. So another little game I've been playing. I'll just quickly kind of run through this one. I'm replaying it.
Uh-huh.
Is Limbo. And I'm doing that because
of that trailer at E3.
Yeah, what was it? Replaced?
I can't remember the name of it. Something Town, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Somerville.
Yeah.
Replaced was a different one.
No, that's Replaces that really cool looking 2D action game.
Yeah, but
Somerville, yes, that game looks awesome.
Yeah, it's made by one of the guys that did Inside and Limbo. I think they had like a creative split or something like that.
Yeah, because it's not Playdead, right? The new game.
Let me
but
see.
This is Playdead.
Yeah, so Inside was their first
game. I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was the game that definitely brought them to like the media attention. And then they did Limbo was their first game, and then Inside was the follow up.
Yes. Oh, and did I say I'm playing Inside? Because I'm actually playing Limbo.
I think you might have said Inside, but I knew what you meant.
Yes. Yeah, you knew what I meant, so everybody else knew what I meant. No, I'm playing through Limbo right now because I've actually played through Inside several times because that game is just amazing.
Have you ever played Limbo before?
Yeah, I've played it. It's been a long time though, and I don't really it's not nearly as memorable to me as Inside.
The environments are pretty samey compared to Inside's factory setting.
Yeah, not only the setting, but then that twist, man. Good God. Inside. If you have not played Inside, you definitely
drop what you're doing. Don't read the spoilers and go play Inside.
That twist, man. Holy crap. You do not see it coming. And then it's just
here we are. But the game's title literally basically tells you that there's something going on, but you don't even think about it until it's you could look at it one way, you're inside this factory, or another way.
On a side note, I actually, that what was the sex doll company that was making a collector's edition of Inside?
Oh God, I don't remember.
Real Doll. Was it Real Doll?
I think it was Real Doll. Yeah.
They were making a fleshy.
It was like a silicone, fleshy. Well, not to give away what actually the spoiler is, but a version of that thing. Yes.
I almost bought that, dude. I was this close to buying.
Honestly,
that thing.
Who would you rather partner with? Somebody that knows nothing about that kind of material, or somebody who knows exactly how to use
who knows everything about making human bodies? But yeah, Inside's great, but I'm playing through Limbo right now, and it's Playdead Studios. I really, really like them a lot. Their creativity and their creepiness speaks to me on levels that might make most people uncomfortable. But no, you got the giant spider that
I know people that stopped playing that game when the giant spider, if you fuck that up and you get killed, the little
oh yeah, he just stabs you.
I know people that stopped playing the game right there. They were like, nope, not gonna, nope, no giant spiders for me.
And ever. The bear traps and
the bear trap, and everything is super visceral too. It's
all just such a quick you're dead.
They don't show because it's all stark black and white, so you don't really see anything, but it's the atmosphere and the sound effects.
The atmosphere and the quickness of it and the silence of it. The game is they're very sparse. They're very sparse with their sound effects and their music, and they use that really effectively to kind of jump scare you with stuff.
I've only played that game one time, but I know exactly, it's been at least 10 years, maybe 15 years since I played that game. And I know exactly what you're talking about when you say the sparseness of the sound, because that bear trap closing and then
you're dead.
Nothing.
And then your body just kind of limps over.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So good. I sent a screenshot to our Facebook or our PlayStation friends.
I saw that.
and our one buddy who had, and it was just because at one part in Limbo, kind of toward the beginning, you fall through the earth, through a soft piece of earth and into a cavern, and there's a kid that was sitting on the earth, and then when it fell, you actually see a rope unfurl, and he's hangs right there, and then your character just kind of sits there and looks at him for a minute, and I was like, man, that is super creepy. And so I took a screenshot and sent it to everybody. I was like, hey, look at this. And I think one of our friends had no idea what that game was and just said,
creepy. nice.
That's a great game though. I'm really enjoying that. I will probably play some more of that tonight. But I did get back, dude. I'm back on it. I'm back on that Mass Effect bullshit.
Yeah. Well, you beat the first one, so now you're in the second one. There's a
I
whole different game.
did, and I've started. I've actually the last time we talked about it, I had barely started it,
Mhm.
but now I think. I mean, this game seems like it's going to be a lot bigger than Mass Effect One. Am I right in assuming that?
It is and it isn't. It's a lot. The story is a lot smaller, but the like
Like
set pieces.
your team
Well, it's all
seems
about
like it
it's all.
can.
So literally, the story of this game is you have two basic setups. You've got like the main thorough line, which you're doing with Cerberus and all that stuff. But the meat of the story is literally you're just assembling a team.
Okay.
Like that's the
Okay.
entire game is you assembling your team.
Okay.
To do like this mission at the end that they call, I don't know if you've gotten to
Nope. Don't
what
tell
that
me.
is.
Nope.
So you're assembling a team, and so the scope of the story is a lot smaller than the first game, but the events that happen around that are a lot bigger, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
I'm enjoying the characters a lot more. Like the new characters.
Yeah.
Really enjoying those new characters the more they flesh them out.
Have you got to Freddie Prinze Jr. yet?
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah.
No.
He's the big. Actually, he might be in 3. I can't remember.
No, I've gotten.
He's the big, huge, muscly guy.
No,
I think he might be in 3. Actually,
no, I haven't gotten the big, huge muscly. I have gotten Jacob. What's her name? Marina. Um, Archangel, which I'm not going to spoil who Archangel is if you don't know, and Morden Solus.
Morden is a very interesting character.
I love Morden, dude. He's like my new favorite. Now I'm like running around with him and Archangel.
I love to take him on missions because he just says like the most like no filter shit on the planet. He does not care.
No filter. He is literally a like a machine in a biotic body.
In a body, yeah. Yeah,
and he's a killing machine in a biotic body, dude.
Yeah.
But he's such an enigma because he's this killing machine assassin, yet he's also a healing doctor.
Yeah.
Like I really like the way
he's got a fun dichotomy.
Yeah, he's really, really cool. The mission for getting him was really, really cool too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the missions for doing everything is a lot bigger and a lot more open and a lot more like stuff. So much stuff happens, but the like scope of what you're actually doing until the very end, which it really opens up. But like the scope of what you're doing in most of the missions is a lot smaller and contained because they're basically way more personal stories, which I tend to enjoy more in things like this because like the big, huge sci-fi epic stuff, you can get that in a lot of places, but the character beats and stuff are what makes Mass Effect special.
Yeah,
it's like all the characters
100%.
that people have grown to love, and this game is really where I feel like that starts. Because you had some good characters in the first game, but like this game is what really, even the characters you like from the first game, they're all way more defined in this game.
Yeah, and I there's also a lot of fun stuff that they've added, not even just in the story, but like in the look and the mechanics that make this game better too.
Oh yeah, so much better.
One of which is the armors, dude. The armors you can get in this game are so flippin' cool.
Yeah, because in the original game, and I'm noticing this playing it again, is basically like you have like 3 different types of armor basically, and they just like palette swap and color swap. It's like the original Mortal Kombat. They just changed the colors on the ninjas and called them different people. But this game is like full on. They look like I'm
in this armor right now called the Blood Dragon armor, and it looks like a medieval knight.
That armor is cool because you had to play Dragon Age 2 and link your accounts to get it in the original game. That's why it looks like that. I played basically the entire game with that armor because it looks so badass. It's black with the red dragon on it.
It's like a dark silver with the red dragon on it.
Yeah.
And that makes so much sense. So I'm getting all the DLC armor. I got all the DLC armor.
Yeah, you get everything.
Oh, that's so cool.
When they say legendary edition, they mean they include every single bit of it.
There's another armor that I think I have to do some research to get called the chitin armor. That looks really cool. That's made from the collectors. and that
Yeah.
just looks wild too.
I think what my thing about Mass Effect 2 is I think they took all the complaints on the original game. They were like, combat kind of sucks, characters aren't as deep as we would like them to be, and the inventory system is a nightmare. And they were like, all right, these are the three things we're going to, because we already have the story down, we already have the lore down, we have the setting down, we have the characters in place, but maybe we can work on it. And they were like, we're just going to focus and drill down on the things that people like and the things that people want. And I think one of the number one things from like 2007 when Mass Effect 1 came out was like, we want to look cool while we're in space, saving the galaxy.
This is such a cool RPG that like you want to be just totally enveloped in. And if you don't,
can you customize the Normandy in this one?
I haven't gotten that far, but I think so.
Okay, I know you can in one of them.
But I know you can upgrade like their armor systems and their weapon systems. I don't know if that makes any kind of
maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Appearance
you need to do that.
difference.
You need to do that for like stuff
later on. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to do that later on. But one thing I do have a bone to pick about is in Mass Effect 1, you could change your loadout and your appearance and everything in the middle of a mission. In this one, whether it's for you or for your party, you can only do that at the Normandy.
Which makes a lot more.
It does make more sense, but
it's not as fun. I hear.
But what doesn't make sense is if you pick up a gun in the middle of a mission, you should be able to equip that gun, but like you can't.
I think the trade-off there is like they were like, all right, you can have this ginormous inventory system that is terrible to sort through and all this other stuff, or we're going to put all the inventory stuff on the ship, all the customizable stuff is going to be on the ship, and then when you get out in the field, you're literally just doing the mission, and that's what you're focusing on is the mission and all that stuff.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
I like that approach because it really cordons off the like. Between, like,
I did spend a lot of time in Mass Effect 1 digging through that inventory in the middle of a mission. I did that a lot.
The more time I spend with that inventory system in this version, I'm like, I hate this, and I'm so glad when I remember playing Mass Effect 2 the first time, and I was like, I kind of wish it were a little more RPG heavy on the inventory stuff, that I had more customizable option, not customizable because it's very customizable, but like more like it's got a lot of customizable.
Dude, I'm losing you big time. I'm losing your audio. Oh,
can you hear me?
I can hear you now. It was bad there for a second. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right, you're good now.
Okay. Like there's a lot of customizable options in Mass Effect 2, but there's not a lot of like there's not a breadth of options for like changing out your armor or stuff like that. Like it's very, they simplified it in a good way, but also they took away a little bit of the depth of it. And when I first played it, I was kind of like, I kind of missed the depth of the old system. But having played Mass Effect 1 again, I'm like, I don't miss I will take Mass Effect 2's inventory system.
Yeah, I mean, the bones I have to pick with Mass Effect 2 are way less glaring and way less numerous than I had with Mass Effect 1. Because in Mass Effect 1, it's like you got the inventory system, you got the worst one for me was the freaking Mako.
God.
Like that just kind of made that game not fun.
It slows the pace down to a freaking crawl. I'm almost at the end of Mass Effect 1 now, and I was gonna do all the side quests, but I'm like, I can't. I just can't.
I did it all, but that's just because it was my first time playing it.
I've already done most of those quests, and some of them are so generic in the first game. Like it's like, go to this planet. You're going to go to the same looking facility that you go to everywhere else. And there's going to be like maybe
same layout,
like maybe
literally the buildings
in there.
But you know what that kind of reminds me of is No Man's Sky when it first came out.
Yeah. It's like the same exact, it's a different
same
planet,
building.
different color, same building, the exact same layout, the exact same terminal in the exact same spot. Yeah. But Mass Effect 2 is just such a better overall experience that I think those little things like the inventory or like a lack of inventory options can be overlooked for.
Yeah, dude. Especially when I look at that Blood Dragon outfit.
It's so nice. It's so cool.
Dude, that's so cool. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. I know you've had a few things to play, but before we get to that, do you want to take like a 5-minute break?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's take a little break because I'm having some issues with my bandwidth, I think. You there? Perfect timing. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're gonna take a break real quick because I am having some bandwidth issues.
Mine. It says your internet connection is unstable.
It says that on your end.
It just said that on my end.
Oh, that might be the problem.
No, no. I think it's
mine doesn't say that. Mine didn't say that. I'm just having you come through weird.
that would be all right. Well, let me do some technical.
Okay. We'll be right back with more booze and games. Oh, that was beautiful timing. Mm-hmm. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 6. I don't think we actually even gave the episode number at the beginning of this.
Oh, yeah. This is episode 6.
Yeah, episode 6 of the Gaming and Drinking Cast. We've got a couple new beers here. Travis has fixed his digital self. He's back. He's back from the dark zone. And we have some new beers here. I'm actually going to the dark zone with mine. I have from Wild Leap Craft Beer Company, or
where's
Wild
that
Leap
out of?
Brewing Company in LaGrange, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It is the DoubleStuff'd Cookies and Cream Stout.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I'm super excited about this.
What's the APV on that?
Oh my God. 12.5%.
Very nice.
Didn't even know.
The Lear is coming back.
Oh boy. Double stuffed. No wonder.
Double stuffed.
It smells delicious though.
I thought you were about to hold up the camera and offer it to me to smell it.
Smell that, dude. Just try that. Smell that.
Smells delicious.
I've also got this psycho cat behind me that video people are going to love. Oh, you know what I just realized?
Mm-hmm.
I've had the video view on you taking up like 90% of the screen the whole time.
That seems like an appropriate thing that you should do.
There we go. The first half of this podcast, between that and our little issues a few minutes ago, I'm gonna have to like put a disclaimer at the beginning of this. Okay, so now we're back to regular view. Okay, recording wise. Nice. What are you drinking?
I am drinking one of my favorite beers ever. It is oh God, I hate the lighting in here.
Oh, is that the unicorn? Oh no,
Unicorn Farts.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Duclaw. It is a sour it's a fruity cereal and edible glitter sour.
Dude, that one is so good, and I do love the way it looks in a glass too.
It looks so good in a glass. You can't really see the edible glitter.
You got to really be up close to really see it very well.
And honestly, the last few years, I feel like they haven't done the emphasis on the edible glitter has been a lot lessened. But it's good.
That's a good beer. That's a fun beer.
Super low APV. It's only 5.5. So we're basically switching. Well, you're going to be ahead of me because my last one was 9. This one for you.
I was expecting like 8. I didn't even look when I saw it at the store earlier. I wasn't even thinking about the ABV. Oh boy. All right.
That's good.
There we go.
Here we go.
All right. Take 2. So I've been playing some Limbo. No. No, but yeah, we kind of went over what I played already. Now, Travis, what you been playing?
So I have been checking out. There is a new. I don't know if you played these back in the day. I feel like you would have played them with like your brothers or your friends or something. The Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance games on the PS2 and Xbox.
I did not play those.
So did you play the Lord of the Rings games?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so those games were just the Dark Alliance games reskinned with Lord of the Rings characters. They were the exact same studio, exact same gameplay. Okay. Like they even looked the same.
They were fun.
Yeah. So if you like those games, you like the Dark Alliance games.
Okay.
This game, however, is not Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, which would, Baldur's Gate is still set in the Dungeons and Dragons universe, but I guess they didn't want to besmirch the good Baldur's Gate name, so they just call it Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. and it's definitely treading on the name. Like it's definitely supposed to be cribbing from that and saying like, hey, this is what we're going for. But it is definitely not the Dark Alliance games of old. It is so this game is a behind the back, almost Dark Souls looking, but not Dark Souls feeling type game. You pick one of like 4 or 5 characters that are all based in like the Dungeons and Dragons lore. It's like Dritz Erden, who's a very, very popular character from D&D. There's a dwarf, some Longhammer or something like that, and 3 other classes. I picked the girl who's a ranger, and she has a bow. That's basically her entire character. She doesn't do anything cool. Like she does. Okay, so let's get back up a little bit. The game is a co-op looter dungeon crawl, but
Okay.
the mechanics of it are super dry. It doesn't have a lot going on as far as like gameplay. So it's very repetitive feeling. And you pick your class and you go into you like go to this big map, and then you select what mission you want to do. It is so dry and so like shallow that there's just no reason to recommend this thing at all. Like
That's disappointing. That's really disappointing. Especially like I know the reviews were just garbage from the get-go.
Yeah.
But I tend to trust my friends' opinions over reviews more often than not.
Yeah, especially if you can get
Sean, your roommate, and also one of my good friends, he was kind of up on this game for a little while when he first started playing. He said like the first time he played it, he got in, he went into like just an open lobby and got up with some people, and everybody had their mics on, everybody was working together, and it just was a really good time. Yeah. But then he said like ever since that one play that he was able to do, ever since then it's just been like poor lobbies with people that don't care and like people without their mics on, just running through. Yeah.
I feel like if this game, I mean, most games, if you could play them with your friends or people who are like cooperating and having a good time, they're going to be kind of fun. And granted, I didn't play any multiplayer. I just played the single player part. I think if like all of us got on there and played, it would be kind of fun, but I don't think it would change the fact that it's still this very shallow, repetitive gameplay.
Yeah, and I think we could get on like our group of friends, and this goes for any group of friends that plays video games. You could get on pretty much any game and make it fun.
Right,
like,
exactly. It's a chat room where you're doing stuff in the background.
Yeah.
But so like some of the things that drive me nuts in it is that the dungeons are super bland and boring. Like there's no like, when you play like a Dark Souls game, you know where there's no map in Dark Souls. You know where you are based on how the game looks. Like that's how distinct each area is. This game, every single corridor, every single like bridge, every single little thing, all of it looks exactly the same. There are different biomes in between each mission, but they're still the same like bland setting, like same layout, same. You know, it might have green trees as opposed to like gray bridges, but it's still like basically the same thing.
I saw like some icy looking stuff, like some Icewind Dale looking.
It's set in Icewind Dale, so like the first mission is you literally going into Icewind Dale and like doing a bunch of stuff. But the icy it still just looks like an ice cavern, like the most generic ice cavern you've ever seen, with some gray bridges, and occasionally there's a tree that's frozen over. Like there's nothing that keeps you coming back, that makes you say, I really want to play this game. And I think like if I were playing it with friends, I would probably be like, we could play this game, or we could play like, you know, Apex or what's the Remnant, something like that. Like I would rather play Remnant than this game. Because Remnant has great
Remnant's
gameplay.
a good game though.
Yeah, it's got great gameplay. And I think like that's the problem with this game, is that the gameplay just is not there. So even if you could make it fun with having your friends in it and stuff, like it's still not going to be the same level of quality that you want out of a game like this. And it does these weird things where I'm like, why did you choose to do this way? So it has a skill tree in it where you take your like XP and stuff, and you go into like your inventory or whatever in between missions, and you can purchase like new skills and stuff like that.
Okay, so it's like in like your start menu, there's like your skill tree, and you're going in between. You can only do that in between missions.
It's in it, so everything you do, you go to like like basically little tables or like vendors and stuff, and you buy stuff from them.
Mhm.
And yeah, this has like a little skill tree thing that you can go purchase stuff from. But let's say you bought like for the thief, she does like or for the archer, she like shoots an arrow up in the air and like rains down a bunch of different arrows. You bought that. You need to trigger it in whatever way that you need to do, right? Whatever button combination it requires. If you do not look at that before you go into the mission and don't memorize it, you cannot look at it mid-mission. You can't pull up like a skill list and say,
And
this is how you
it's like a bunch of different combos for doing this stuff that you just have to memorize.
Yeah. So like how like in let's say like
in God of War. Let's say
like exactly like God of War. 100%.
You pull up the menu and there's there's so
all
many
the different
combos.
Combinations. Yeah. And so like it like a forward, not forward, but like a forward and L1 and combo L2, like that kind of thing. If I needed to look that up, there's no way to look that up mid mission.
Hope you got your phone by you, dude.
Yeah, exactly. You have to like, but even still, like it's like you're not like encouraged to do like it's just a maddening thing. Why would you do that? Like, why would you not just let people look up this thing from the beginning?
Yeah, there should definitely be a menu tab for showing
skills.
your abilities. Yeah.
So
it's kind of madness, dude.
Yeah, that I will say I got it on Game Pass. Game Pass is the greatest thing on the planet, and I didn't pay any money for it, and then I immediately uninstalled it. So
so never play that again.
Yeah, I'm probably never gonna play that again unless you guys want to get on it. Then
I'm good. There's a lot of other games I'd rather play with you guys.
There are a lot of games, and there's a lot of games coming to Game Pass too. Another game that I got on Game Pass is actually a game in early access.
They have early access games on there?
They do. Yeah, they have a couple of them.
That's pretty neat.
Some strategy games that are cool. It's not really my thing, but it seems really cool. This game, however, is called Prodeus, not with a T, but with a D.
Prodeus.
Produce.
The producers?
Or produce, like some vegetables.
Produce.
Prodeus is
the producers.
The juicers.
Parker is a producer.
He's in the produce section?
Yeah.
Parker
is also a producer in the bathroom.
Oh God. And it's funny because we want him to be our producer on this show.
Yeah, he's just going to be
running the knobs.
All sorts of
he's going to be producing a lot. So this game is a first-person shooter. It is very old school, pixelated graphics. It looks like if Doom was made in the Quake engine, is kind of what it looks like. But with this amazing color, like lighting scheme, all kinds of weird color lighting coming from every different angle.
I'm looking at the Google images of it, and that looks dope.
It's awesome. It is so cool. It's very fast and frenetic gameplay. It's not quite.
Does it have
Doom.
Tank controls?
No.
Okay, thank God. I mean, those games all had tank controls. That's why I was wondering.
What?
Like the Doom originally had tank controls.
No, they still use the well, I guess kind of, yeah. They use
really bad WASD.
It was before WASD. Quake is what brought WASD, but
but you get what I'm saying.
But now I've only played Doom modernized, so they've changed it to where it also has WASD controls. So I've completely forgot that it used to be on the arrow keys over here. The control is your shoot button.
Yeah.
I do remember playing that now. But no, this game is 100% just a Quake, like WSD. You get your guns and you're going through a level. You're opening up hallways. The first level is actually kind of reminiscent of Doom Eternal, where you kind of walk out of a spaceship and then you're in this like blasted hell-looking area.
This looks like id Software could sue them.
Well, if it could have
so much like Doom,
didn't sue anyone in the 90s, then they probably not going to sue these guys. But it's definitely supposed to evoke that era of stuff. Except when you see it in action, though, it looks so much better than any of those games ever looked.
Hey, kitty. Do you hear this cat?
Yeah, I do hear her.
Dude, she's gonna kill me.
That's probably true. Listen, murder on camera would, if you got killed by a cat on camera, it would probably up our viewership levels. Uh-oh.
Oh God, I'm in her domain, dude. She's like
this is her world. You're just living in it.
It's like gonna be like the jack or the cheetah that killed the crocodile.
Yeah. What you doing, kitty?
Hey, kitty. Watch if I try to be nice.
Nope, she jumped down.
Nope, she's right here.
Oh.
Hey, kitty. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Get it. Get that hand.
Hey.
Pat, 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 pat. Oh.
She likes and hates me at the same time.
She doesn't know how she feels about you, apparently.
No, but I'm the only person that's ever given her a treat. So,
So
apparently my family does not know how to give cats treats. Oh God. Anyways, Prodeus, I'm sorry. This cat is just. I told you I was going to boot it out before we started, and I forgot to do that.
That's okay. Yeah, Prodeus is great. It's very early. There's only a couple levels in it right now that they've released, but it seems incredibly promising. And it's the kind of game that I love seeing these days. It's just an old school shooter with modern technology, and that is
there any
so
kind
far up my
of
alley.
is there any kind of movement abilities or anything? Because I know like in the old Doom it was like you literally just run and shoot. Are you just running and shooting?
You can jump. It's more like Quake than Doom as far as that kind of stuff goes. You can jump. You're not really doing like movement based platforming like you would do in like a Doom Eternal or something like that, but there are some things, and there's a lot of secrets that you can explore. A lot of secrets where you can like find like a hatch over here that you blow out, and then you crawl through and find like a something. But for the most part, it is a very straightforward old school shooter. Not a lot of, there's no like wall running or anything like that. No grapple hook. You know, I know this is the grapple hook.
Okay, yeah, no modern movement stuff really. They kept it old school with that.
Not that I've seen so far, and I highly doubt it, because the whole design philosophy behind this is like make it like an old school shooter. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they would do that. But it's super fun and for free. Like it's on Game Pass. Like
yeah, pretty is it on Xbox or just PC?
That I do not know, but it does have controller support, so I assume it would be on Xbox as well.
Okay, I don't know if they have early access stuff on Xbox.
They do.
They do. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I might have to check that out then.
Yeah, I think it's a super short little thing that they have, but it's very fun. So that's Prodeus. Very cool. Check it out.
Okay.
And the other thing that I've been playing, something I've been playing with you, and that is it's time for our Apex Minute.
Apex Minute.
So the Apex
with Adam and the douche.
Wait, what? How come you just give your regular name? That's not fair. Couldn't it be like the nerd and the douche or something?
With Adam and the nerd.
No, that's not what I was saying. I'm saying you're the nerd, I'm the douche.
With Adam and the nerdy douche.
It is not. Nope. We're still haven't quite made it there yet.
We're workshopping it still.
Oh, are we? It seems like you're workshopping it. I'm just sitting here taking it. Damn it.
Oh God.
All right. So anyway,
the leer, dude. It's coming.
I know. I could feel it coming.
Dude, this buzz is hitting me hard quick.
Good. That's the way it should be.
Holy crap. Yeah. Wow.
The kitty could feel it too. She just said, "I'm not doing this anymore."
Holy smokes. Double stuffed Oreos.
Adam is now double stuffed.
Double stuffed with Adam and the dude.
That sounds real bad. Just so you know, that doesn't at all sound like something that you want to be a part of.
No,
especially with your real name involved.
Yeah. Oh God. All right.
So for this week's Apex Minute, we're going to talk about the new. It's part of the collection event. Or no, not collection.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Well, it is a collection event. What's the name of the thing?
Genesis.
It's called Genesis.
Yeah.
It's about Genesis. It literally takes the game back to the beginning. It's the first original 2 maps with no modification. It's their very first incarnations.
Kings Canyon,
complete OG and OG World's Edge, except that they added the train back to World's Edge.
Kings Canyon.
Kings Canyon.
No, it is World's Edge, isn't it?
I can't remember. Whichever one had the train, because that wasn't added
You're
until like
muted.
season 2. No, I'm not.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I muted you.
Why would you do that?
I didn't mean to.
Why are you tapping buttons over there?
Because I was coming across. I was looking up the Genesis Collection event, and then there was a video ad that was about to start, so I muted it. But then I didn't realize that it also muted everything else.
Oh, I got you. Gotcha. Yeah. So, cat is just losing her shit.
She's meowing by the door.
So this takes it back to the old school. The mode is fun. I really like seeing the old maps in this version of this, and like seeing how everything started. But what it really highlights is how far these maps have come and how good and smart the additions to the maps have been. Mm-hmm. Like, so you're going at like on Kings Canyon, and there's just like these burnout forests that have nothing in them. Like
I remember, I distinctly remember those areas in the map when
me too.
First came out, and
never went there because there's nothing to do there.
Yeah, and I remember us having conversations like, dude, they're gonna have to add something here. Like this is,
and they definitely did.
Oh yeah, like everything got filled out.
My theory about that is that they wanted it to be like a flat battlefield. Like a flat battlefield type playing area where you can like, kind of just shoot people out in the open. But in Apex, what they found out was that no one's going to do that ever because there's no point to it.
No, it's way too tactical of a game for that.
Right. So you're never going to be in like an open area where you're just sprinting across getting shot by people with sniper rifles. No. So it's fun to see that stuff, but it really does highlight how far they've come from those original maps. So it does make me though, however, want them to bring the train back full time.
Yeah. I wish they would. Dude, the train was probably between that and Mirage Voyage.
Yeah.
Like if they would just bring those two things back and keep everything else they've done, I'd be a happy boy. Like
it's weird that they added like Octane's thing. They added the trials for Bloodhound. They added Caustic's thing. The only thing they've ever taken away was the original placement of Mirage Voyage. And they tried to bring it back in like a later season and put it over there near Octane's thing. But like, why would you do that? Because those two things there's nothing on the side where Mirage Voyage was originally.
That was where they also took away Skulltown. Don't forget that.
I do love Skulltown being back. That is so much fun.
Skulltown is a shit show every single time. And it's so fun. Like if you want to win the game, you don't drop Skulltown.
No, but if you want to have
if you want to just jump in and be like, let's go see if we can just kill like 5 people.
And we did that one time. We got through it.
Rich got 7 kills.
Mm-hmm.
Like our buddy Rich is nasty. We really need to bring him in.
Especially for this segment.
Yeah, he's really damn good. And I actually enjoy whenever we're all playing together and I go down and then I like die to where like I have a death box. I really actually enjoy going and just watching Rich
watching
play.
him
because he's got really good strats as far as evading enemies and yet still being able to attack.
Plus, he always plays.
That's what separates him, I think, from us is that he is really good at attacking and then getting to cover.
Yeah.
And that's just something really I struggle with. Yeah.
I always just want to keep shooting as opposed to like backing down. I'm getting better at it, but I haven't quite reached the level that Rich is at. But yeah, it's a fun event. Some of the skins and the weapon skins look really cool. I do want to try to get most of those when that is available.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at let's see. Oh, do you hear that?
What was that?
That was my parents' garage door. Yeah, so there's a few things that I kind of want to go over with the collection event that just I'm super stoked about. The first one is something I brought up a few weeks ago with somebody did some data mining and found this out beforehand. But the Revenant heirloom is finally here.
Yes, and that
the scythe,
so sick.
Yeah, can't wait for that. I want it. I want it real bad. There's also some really cool skins. There's a really good Watson skin, really good Octane skin, dope Loba skin. Like Loba, have you seen the Loba skin with like the hoodie, the tank top hoodie?
No, that sounds cool.
She looks like a modern Assassin's Creed character.
Oh, that's dope. I love that look. For her, that would look super cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I'm also looking at, dude, they actually, man, they really went in deep and showed some stuff on this page. I'm at dexerto.com. They have something about this new patch. And they changed the hitbox sizes for Revenant and Lifeline, made Revenant's hitbox a little smaller. Made Lifeline's hitbox, it looks like a little bigger.
Which they needed to do.
And let's see. Watson can now place more than one Nessie on the map at a time with her epic emote. What the heck does that even mean?
A Nessie is the Loch Ness monster looking thing.
Yeah, but what does the Nessie do?
It doesn't do anything. It's just an emote.
It called that a dude in this patch note. It calls that a major buff. Oh, Spitfire has increased hipfire spread. P2020.
So they nerfed the Spitfire just to unnerf it in a different way.
Ooh, 30-30 repeater has slightly increased projectile speed and reduced charge time.
Good. Make that gun more effective for the people that can use it. That sounds like a great idea.
Longbow does more damage.
That I found out the other day. We were getting messed up.
Yeah, you got straight up murked.
That person shot me like twice and I was dead.
We didn't even know where it was coming from. It was just like boom, boom, you're dead.
Yeah, the longbow scene. I might try to start using that because that was nasty.
Yeah. So they did some arena balances, changed some prices of stiff. The gold backpack costs more. The Arc Star costs more. Dang, everything costs more. Seems like. Or no, RE45 costs less money. Oh, that's good for me. That's good for me because I still have that pistol arenas challenge that I need to do. Mastiff costs less. R99 costs less. It was $550, now it's $500. Volt costs more. It was $500, now it's $550. Spitfire costs more. L-Star costs more. R301 level 2 upgrade costs more. The Scout costs more. That sucks.
Boo.
I used to work that from the beginning. It was $350, which was super cheap. Now it's $400. 30-30 did the same thing. Was $350. Now it's $400.
Well, we don't have to go through all the.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually enjoying reading this stuff. That's probably something I should do on my own time.
Maybe not for the podcast.
Okay. All right, but yeah, they've done a lot of balancing, but also brought in some really fun cosmetics, especially that Reaper scythe for.
That thing looks awesome.
For Revenant. Speaking of Reaper scythes,
I
think that's good for the Apex Minute. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You had a good transition.
Well, I fucked it up.
You fucked it up, but that's okay.
That's okay, man.
Speaking of Reaper sites,
we've been playing a little board game called Descent: Journeys in the Dark. Which, if I know we are gaming and drinking. We are not strictly video gaming and drinking. We do all sorts of gaming here.
Well, we've been talking about doing board game stuff. So
yeah. And this one, man, this honestly might be my favorite board game of all time. Like I've played it. I've started a couple other campaigns with other groups, but I'm really excited to do this campaign with the group that we just started the other night. So it's kind of like a D&D type game.
It is 100% D&D.
And
dice rolls and everything.
Yeah, you got your dice rolls, you got your character sheets, and you start as a weak level 1, and as you go through the campaign, you level up your character. There are classes and subclasses. There are minion enemies, and then mid-size enemies, and then boss enemies.
Mm-hmm. And it all scales depending on how many people you have in your group.
Yeah, and yeah, the difficulty definitely scales up. Like the last campaign I played was just me and Amy, and it was 2 players. And if you're playing a 2-player campaign, then whenever like a group of enemies shows up, it would usually be like one minion and 1 boss. Now that we're doing a 4-player campaign, it's like there's usually like 3 or 4 minions and a boss.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it way harder and way more interesting. But it also, all of our skills kind of play off of each other.
Yes.
And so like, it's really fun to kind of decide, because on every turn, you can decide what order you go in. Like, you don't have to have like a set turn order. And so like if we're in a position where like one of us is in it, we should start out with, this is a dungeon crawler with minifigures. And so like there's
and a board that you make as you go.
Yeah, you make the board as you go, and there's a companion app that actually does the DMing for you. Which is the coolest thing about this game. And the reason I bought it is because I don't have that many board game playing friends. And so,
and also it's hard to DM unless you're super, super into that kind of thing.
So. Yeah, and none of us, I don't think, have that much experience doing
Not
RPG board games.
No.
And so having an app that does that for us is super helpful. And it also makes it to where we can all be on the same team and not have 1 versus 3 or whatever. Because I always feel like that's one thing that that's actually one of the bigger reasons that I never really got into D&D in the first place, was because I didn't want to be playing against my friends in an RPG.
You're not really D&D. You're not really against the DM.
Okay.
He's more of a director, where he's placing things in front of you for you to challenge you, but he doesn't want you to lose.
Okay,
that's not really what his role is.
Okay, well, in for example, another board game that I bought that we haven't played yet is Doom. In Doom, it is straight up like 1v however many other players.
That's like the asymmetrical. Yeah. Because it's one side is the demons, and then the other 3 are like competitively going.
Yeah, they're all Doom Marines.
Yeah.
And
that does sound fun though. So I'm
I got that one just because I was like, oh my god, there's like all these minifigures from the game. Like I want to start painting these. And yeah, I'm super, super stoked to play that. But as far as just like dipping my toes into the RPG board game scene, I felt like Descent was a great place to start, because it kind of it holds your hand a little bit when it comes to the setup. And also another great thing that the app does is it tracks all of your stats. It tracks how much gold you've collected, how many skills you've unlocked, what equipment you have. And so every time you break out the game to play it, you can look at what you got, and these are all the cards you need for this round.
Yep.
And
there's very smart.
There's a lot of components, and then like it actually, when you're building out each quest, you do build the map, the dungeon, as you go. And so it's literally exploring, because you will not know what's coming up in the next room until you go to that door and tell the app, hey, I'm opening this door now. And then when you do that, then it will say, okay, now you need piece 9A, 2B, which these are all board game pieces for the dungeons. And it'll tell you how to set it up, where there are treasures, where there are enemies, and then you move forward. And it's super smart and super exciting. And it's something that like you just learn as you go.
Yeah, it takes like the idea of like a roguelike, where you go to a door, like you said, and then you open it up, and then it fills in randomly, like it randomly generates.
Very much like a Metroidvania kind of thing.
It applied that to a board game as opposed to it being like a video game. And I think that's super smart and super fun.
You were comparing it a lot to a D&D game that you had. What was that one?
So I have a D&D game called it's the Manor of Ravencroft or Ravenloft or something like that. It's basically like you're going through Dracula's castle.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's the same exact setup. You got minifigs, you have your character sheets, and you have like a board that you fill in as you go, and there's different scenarios.
How do you know how to fill it in? Is there like a book that tells you?
There's a book. It's a big giant book, yeah.
Okay, so does that kind of do the same thing as the app? It's just a little more harder.
It's the exact same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
It does the storytelling in the book. It does it's basically like that app, but in a book form.
Okay.
It tells you like which, but I don't think it. So I think the app randomly generates stuff.
No, it's not. It's not random.
Oh, is it always the same?
Yeah.
Okay. So even the enemy placements and stuff are always the same?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's the exact same thing. That like
because it's a campaign, it's a preset campaign that you're going through.
Okay, so then it's the exact same thing then, and you can buy. So the cool thing about this is you can buy other D&D board games that actually link to
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
pieces?
It's the same. Okay. Yeah. So it is the exact same thing because I was telling you earlier, I was going back through, but before we go any further, for anybody that knows what D&D is or what Descent is, I kind of want to just tell everybody what our classes are. So I am playing as the Widow Tara. She is a mage and she's a necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
Travis is playing as Averick Albright, the disciple healer.
It's like a paladin, basically.
Yeah, basically a paladin. Our buddy Langston is Leoric of the Book. He is a rune master mage, and
who might be the most powerful character in the game. It seems like
he's dope. And then we got Ashrian, who is Sean. Sean is Ashrian, spirit speaker healer character.
we have no warriors. We have no warriors.
Yeah, we have 2 mages and 2 healers.
So no warriors and no whatever the other.
No
class
tanks.
Is. No tanks. Yeah, which my class is kind of a tank because I have a lot of healing points or a lot of hit points. And
yeah,
I
can call you a healer, but I think you're more of a tank that has some heals.
Yeah, it's weird that I'm under the healer class, but I do think it's funny that we chose 2 and 2 as opposed to
and the thing is, we didn't even know that until
we didn't.
Later, like in the middle of the campaign or in the middle of the quest, I like found the icons in the rule book, and I was like, oh, so let's see, we're both blue or we're both yellow. You guys are both blue. Oh, so that means we're both mages and you guys are both healers.
My weapon is literally like under the tank class though.
Yeah,
like it has the tank icon on my weapon, so. I think I'm more of a hybrid character, and I think like both of you guys are both straight up mage classes, like you and Langston. But Sean's kind of like splits the difference between like a thief class and a healer class.
You know what's funny? So Sean is Ashrian, the healer spirit speaker. That is literally the exact same character that I played in me and Amy's campaign. Like I literally played Ashrian as a spirit speaker.
Yeah, because you can pick subclasses and stuff. So
yeah.
But yeah, that game
really
is super fun. It's super dope.
We just did the tutorial quest because I wanted to, like, I know how to play the game, but I wanted, like, the tutorial does a really good job of actually because I'm really bad at explaining things, but I can play them. I just can't.
And board games are so dense that it really helps you to get in there and just do it.
So we did the tutorial mission, which actually does a good job of putting you through different scenarios and explaining how you handle each one.
Mm-hmm.
And in the tutorial quest, we were helping the Goblin King Splig take down the Abomination, aka a giant Etten or troll. There were also some Barghests, which are basically werewolves, and Flesh Molders, which are basically like abominable.
They're like they're mages that can like mold flesh.
Yeah, they got like extra arms growing out of them, and they like can shoot fire. And the flesh molders are they're a really interesting enemy. I really like the flesh molders. They are.
I like all the enemy designs in this game, like the Argyrus. They were like these big wolves, and
they're like they're like zombie wolves. They got like their flesh like ripped out and stuff.
One thing that I really liked about this is that it presents you with like a series of enemies, and there'll be like 2 to 3 minions, and then like a boss character of that room. So every time you get into an encounter, there's always like 2 or 3 minions, and then a higher version of that same type of enemy.
And that usually that higher one does a lot more damage and shit.
Right, and they have a lot more health. They have they have more abilities. It's a very smart system that doesn't require a lot of like different pieces or like cards, or you know what I mean, like because they print everything on the same card for you.
Yeah, you got like your minion, the minion stats at the top and the boss stats at the bottom, or vice versa. I can't remember. Yeah. But also it makes it interesting in that like it'll say put the flesh molder group on this space on the game board. And what it means when it says the flesh molder group, if you look at the back of the card, based on how many people are in your party, it'll be like 1 minion and a boss up to like 3 or 4 minions and a boss. And us playing 4 people, that's the most amount that you can play Descent with. Every time it's just like, all right, we got to fight like a whole room full of enemies like right now. And it's a fun back and forth conversation about like, hey, should we take out these minions right now,
Yeah,
or should we go try to beat the boss because he's going to do the most damage out of all these guys?
There's a lot of strategizing in between roles,
and you know
you're
what
trying
I've
to figure out the
realized?
best abilities.
Yeah, I'm sorry I interrupted, but
No, go ahead.
you know what I've realized is that the strategizing a lot of times doesn't mean shit because roles can go bad so
easily. Yeah, that part is very D&D. Is your role determines basically, like, you can have the best strategy in the world, but if your role goes bad, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you're done.
And it's so easy to have a bad roll. Like, there's so many things. There's like 3 different checks in a say you're doing a ranged attack. There's like 3 different things that have to go right.
Yeah. I remember when I was gonna heal Sean, and I thought it was gonna be like this big, huge buff.
You're like 2 red dice. Let's go.
And it was like 3 heal.
No, it was 1. It was 1, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it was 1.
So so there's like there are 2 red dice, there are 2 blue dice, there's yellow dice and 2 gray dice, a brown dice, and 2 black dice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dice.
But once you get this, it sounds complicated, but once you start going with it, it makes so much sense. It's super easy.
Yeah, all you really have to do is look at the cards to know which dice to roll. But
it does
the red dice is it's your heal dice. If you're ever gonna do a heal ability, red does that. And on each red dice, it goes, I think, 1 to 4. And then there's like 1 blank space on each.
So there's 2 blank spaces.
2 blank spaces.
Because you can't fail on the red dice.
No, you can't.
So unlike the other ones, it doesn't have an X on it. I mean, you can fail. You can
roll a 0.
Spaces. But like the blue die has a straight up X on it where you fail the entire thing.
But like Sean, let's just go back to the scenario real quick. Sean was super low on health, and we were like, all right, you can heal up to 8 here. Just roll the 2 dice. Let's go. Let's get Sean back in this shit. And you roll and 1.
And I was talking so much shit.
That was like
heal you up, bro.
Wasn't that your ult too?
Yeah. No, it was No, it wasn't my ult.
No, that wasn't your ult. Actually saved our asses.
Yeah,
there.
my ult helped a lot at the end, but
yeah,
the leading out to that was super, super funny. It was a great moment, and there were a lot of really great moments in that. I will say it took forever. We were learning. I think it'll go a lot faster the next time.
Yeah, it took us about 5 hours.
Yeah, but that game's great. But I think that's probably good for that.
Yeah, do you want to stream it next time? Maybe
for sure. We can, if we can find a good way to set it up. We'll see what we can do.
I mean, honestly, right now we are using my MacBook's camera, and I don't know about you, but on my end, it kind of looks pretty good.
It looks fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks fine to me. And so we could.
I think it's the compression through Zoom. I think is going to be an issue for us until we figure out OBS. So.
Well, if we just record on and this is behind the scenes stuff, but if we just record on any other app. With just throw one of these mics in the middle of the game board, and if we hear it, we hear it. We don't. Or set one up on either side. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. There's a way to do it for sure. But let's take a break, and then we're going to come back with a question for both of us, and then we can wrap this thing up.
Yep. All right.
Get another beer.
Yep. Sounds good. Right. We will be right back with more murderous kitties and drinking.
Oh damn, that was a powerful one.
Oh yeah, the beer explosion.
You're doing another jalapeno?
Oh yeah, another birdsong jalapeno. I don't think I need another 12.5% beer.
Probably not
to start with.
So I am doing a smoked lager.
Ooh.
Called Smoke Show from Revelry, which is out of Charleston, South Carolina. It's actually a collab between The Hold, which is a great name for a brewery, and Revelry. I don't know what The Hold is, but Revelry is fantastic. They have a super cool tap room. It's 2 stories.
I've not been there.
Their best stuff is like at the tap room, but I've never had this before. Have you ever had a smoked lager?
No.
Okay, so they literally put smoke into the fermentation like as they're brewing it, and it gives it a smoky taste.
Yeah, I bet.
Basically beside a fire. I had one from the guy who brews at New Sarum, brought them to us when I did a tap takeover with him, first one I ever had, and I was like, this is awesome. He's like, this is the most love it or hate it style of beer there is. Like, you either really dig it or you really do not. So I
As
liked
someone
it.
that likes a peaty scotch, I think I would like a smoked lager.
That is literally exactly what I said. I was like, I'm a big peaty Scotch fan. Like, I like that smoky flavor. I think I'll like this, and I loved it. So this is only the second one I've ever had. His was the first one, so we'll see.
Nice.
I love a good lager, so it's hard for me to think.
I've had like smoked old fashions and like smoked drinks where they like do that, where they put wood chips, where they put like the wood chips and then like cover it with a dome and smoke it out for. I think
that's how they do this too, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. I don't know a lot about brewing, so
that would make sense if that's how they did it.
I do remember him saying something about wood chips though, so
cool.
So we'll see how this goes.
All right.
But anyway, so I brought a question this week for us. It is a few weeks ago, actually. Now we missed the actual anniversary, but a few weeks ago, it was the 25th anniversary of the Nintendo 64. It came out 25 years ago, and I distinctly remember it coming out. So we are old.
Dude, okay. Earlier I said I was 9 when I came out, but that would put me at 6 years old.
Wow.
When the N64 came out. I didn't know it came out in 90. I guess it did come out in 95?
It came out in Japan in
96.
95, I think.
In 96.
It came out here in 96.
Yeah.
I remember all of that release. So so I asked you this earlier when I didn't answer it. There was if you read video game magazines back then, like EGM and
I read Nintendo Power.
That wasn't really around. I mean, it might have been around, but it wasn't nearly what it was in the early 90s by 96. It was EGM, EGM and Game Pro. Those were the two big ones. Game Pro was huge. EGM was huge. Even Game Informer, I think, was around by that time. And the hype leading up to the release of the Nintendo 64 was gigantic. I think they called the original stuff leading up to it Project Reality. And it actually had a different name leading up to it. Before the release date was revealed, for years leading up to it, it was called something different. Do you remember what that was?
Was it Dolphin?
No, the Dolphin was the GameCube.
That was the Dreamcast.
No, it was the GameCube.
Oh, yeah, GameCube. Okay.
No, it was called the Ultra 64, which is such a better name. Like, that is such a cool name.
Or just Ultra. If they would have just called it like Ultra Nintendo, that would have been cool too.
I don't know. Ultra 64 has always stuck with me, and I think it's such a cool name. But they led up to it, and they were showing Final Fantasy was a huge thing on the Super Nintendo. Like, Final Fantasy 4 and 6 were gigantic, and the big hype leading up to the Ultra 64's reveal was they showed like these 3D blocky characters of Final Fantasy dudes. I remember some guy had like a bandana on and something like that. And Square actually decided to go with the PlayStation instead because of the cartridge. Nintendo did not want to go to CDs. They wanted to do cartridges again because it was harder to pirate cartridges. And so because of that, they decided to stick with the cartridge format. And that's what led to the PlayStation being created, because originally it was going to be a PlayStation and Nintendo hybrid. They were going to make this like hybrid console.
Oh, I remember that. And they actually have.
There's a prototype of it out there.
There's prototypes, and people sell them on eBay for like tens of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Oh my God, I didn't know that was what that was.
Yep, that was supposed to be the 64, and
oh man, and then Sony. So cool. That would have changed history, dude. That would have been.
Sony ended up changing history, and like look at where they are now. You know,
I know, but could you imagine if Sony and Nintendo came together like in the 90s, and now where that would be?
Damn, that's good.
Is it?
Man, that's really good. Yeah. If you like, I think you would like this.
You should bring one of those tomorrow whenever we're hanging out that I can try.
Okay.
If you have another one.
I don't, but I'll get one.
Okay.
But so anyway, the hype leading up to the 64's release was huge. And the 64 is the first, and maybe it's because I was so young, but the 64 is the first console I can remember where you couldn't get it. Like, it would be sold out, kind of like the PS5 is now, like the Switch was when it first came out. Basically every console that releases now is you can't buy it for like a year or so. And it was gigantic. And what's really funny is that there was only 2 launch games for it. You remember what they were?
Mario and Zelda.
No, Zelda wasn't out yet. It was Mario. and Pilot Wing 64.
Oh yeah, and those were the two games I had when I first.
There was
got
the
one.
only two games you get, and they were like $80 a piece. So like, do some inflation on that math, and those are like $130 games by '96 money. And imagine playing $130 for Pilot Wing 64.
Dude, Pilot Wings was awesome.
It was okay, but like
that
$130.
Okay. There's one thing I super duper remember about that, and that is
Flying over the farms.
Soundtrack, dude.
Yeah, the soundtrack was great.
The Pilot Wings soundtrack was so good.
It was really good.
It, like when you're hang gliding over a city and like you just got that like I don't even know what it is now, but like I just remember hearing that and being like, it's a vibe.
Next level. It's a vibe. That's what you said to your 6-year-old self.
It's a vibe. Yeah, I was like 6 years old, just being like, "Yo,
I'm vibing.
This a vibe."
I can't. So my first memory of seeing the 64 in action was going to a Best Buy and playing Mario at a Best Buy like kiosk and just being blown away. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I could not believe the graphics, because that was like the first, 3D game that really took to the fore, like 3D movement. Like the analog stick was that was like the first controller that had an analog stick on it. And it really changed the way that we look at modern video games. And so I just wanted to go through this and be like, what are your fondest memories of the 64, and what are some of your favorite games?
Yeah, I'm super down with that. I'm going to be a little less, I'm not going to have that many memories as far as like, oh, do you remember this huge release or anything like that? Just because I was so young, but it was the first console that like I could like go to the store and be like, oh my God, look at all these awesome games, and actually know what the hell I was looking at.
You said that it was Kyle's console, right? You remember it coming home and all that stuff?
Yeah, so it was Christmas 96.
And we were all gathered around the fire.
We were all gathered around the Christmas tree, and nobody started drinking yet. And,
so it was a good time.
We were all kind of happy. But no, I do remember Christmas 96. Kyle got the N64, and he opened it up, and we both like, it was his, but like me and Kyle shared a lot of stuff. In fact, Kyle, whenever I remember one time, there's actually a video of me getting a present one year when we were young, and it was a gift that Kyle also wanted, and Kyle looked at me and goes, Adam, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine.
And you're like, well, that might be true, but that works in reverse too.
I was just like, okay, I guess. But then like, yeah, after that, it was like, that's how it works. Like this is all both of ours.
Was it the Ninja Turtles
I don't know what
popped out?
I don't know what it was, but like that video is hilarious because it just shows that Kyle had that mentality from like the time he was
from the jump and
5.
still has it today.
Yeah. And so yeah, like the N64 was technically Kyle's, but we shared it completely 100%. And we got Mario and Pilot Wings right off the bat, and then a few months later we got Ocarina of Time. Or no, that didn't come out till 98.
Yeah, Ocarina was way later.
But we did get
Wave Race,
Mario Kart. I mean, dude, like Wave Race. Yeah, like I'm sitting here looking at right now, just like the list of all the different games. Blast Corps, we talked about that one already.
Not my favorite, but I know people love it.
I loved Blast Corps. There was another like WCW game.
Oh, there were WCW Nitro, WCW. Not
WrestleMania. Not WrestleMania.
No. There were so many good.
There were a lot of good wrestling.
When people think of good wrestling games, they think of the 64 wrestling games. Like 100%. When you think of what you loved as a kid playing good wrestling games, it's all the. Like,
I think it was WCW NWO.
Oh no, yeah, it was NWO versus the world,
it was like WCW versus NWO. 1080 snowboarding, Snowboard Kids.
Was great.
gosh, just so many. Bomberman,
I played a lot
Pod
of Bomberman.
Racer,
Pod Racer
Turok.
was
Did
good.
you like Turok?
I loved
That
Turok.
one was very divisive. I loved Turok.
I like shooting dinosaurs as a kid was like the coolest thing in the world to me.
And like if you go back and watch a video or try to play Turok,
you can download Turok to your PS4 right now.
I did, and it's terrible.
Yeah, it's not
real bad.
It's not a good game. I think that
back then it was like, yo, you're shooting dinosaurs with real guns.
Turok got better as it went on. That first game I think would be incredibly hard to go back to. But you know it's not hard to go back to.
Remember those giant roaches?
Yes, I do. They were terrifying.
You know
what game is not hard to go back to? GoldenEye.
No, I could go back to that any day.
It changed first-person shooters on consoles forever. It didn't make the standard like Halo did, but every single person our age, almost to a T, had that game, loved that game, and played the crap out of the multiplayer.
And everybody thought they were the best at it too.
Oh yeah. Oh, I still think people would get in fights about that stuff. They'd be like,
dude,
I would beat you. I'll beat you right now.
I would love to. And actually, when I lived in Savannah, one of the guys I worked with, his name was Jarrell. He was awesome. I was always talking about like my PS3, PS4 stuff. And this was in like 2015, 2016. And he, every time I try to talk about video games to him, he'd be like, dude, what are you talking about? I still got an N64. And I went over to his house one day, and sure enough, he had an N64 set up on his plasma screen TV, and that's his only console that he had. And he's like, dude, you want to play some like GoldenEye or Mario Kart? I was like, yes to all that. And we sat and played GoldenEye all night. And dude, yeah, it still holds up. Like, I know that the controllers are kind of shit, but
yeah, the controllers suck. But the gameplay itself, I think, is still super solid.
It was just such a
defined
fun, competitive split screen multiplayer experience.
It defined what multiplayer games could be as a first person shooter with like all the mods that you could do. You could do like, fists only, or
big head mode,
like no
golden gun, rockets only, knives only. You know what was the best one?
Proximity mines only.
Dude, that was so much fun.
And you would have so many explosions on screen that the game literally would be like, I can't. It go to like 3 frames a second. It like could not handle it at all. Man, yeah, what a great video game.
So good. And they didn't care. It was so good.
The best. So then you come to the 1,000-pound gorilla in the room, and that's Ocarina of Time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Diddy Kong Racing.
I like Diddy Kong Racing.
I did too.
I don't think it's a good game, especially I think if I played it now, I would be like,
I think it's better than Mario Kart 64.
That is blasphemous.
It's true. It's true. Also, Clay Fighter 63 1/3.
Oh my God. No.
Another great game.
No, it's not. It's not a good game at all. That's a bad video game.
No.
Play it right now. Get an emulator. Bring it up on your
gladly.
On your thing. You would play it for 30 seconds and be like, "This game is awful," and I see what you're saying.
No, I know that I can actually still feel like I know the controls for that game, and I know how it feels, and it does feel mushy like when you're playing it.
That's because it's a mushy game. There's a reason that all the like games we remember fondly as a kid, Clay Fighter has never been rebooted. Like one of the only ones never been rebooted.
It 100% should.
I bought like that game on like day one. I was so excited for that game, and it was awful.
Did you like Clay Fighter on the Super Nintendo?
Yes, I loved it. That's why I bought that one.
It was the same game.
Yeah, but like super stripped down and had like no like the 63 or the 63 1/3 version was like the Super Nintendo version was better than the 64 version. 100%. Maybe it's because the controller was terrible, but
Dude, yeah, that's one thing that like as far as fondest memories, I don't know if this counts, but that like realizing that you're playing on this weird like
3-pronged, like no one's hands are built that way.
Triple phallus of a controller.
I got 3 dicks in my hand.
Seriously, I don't know what to do with all these dicks.
That's the title of the episode.
No, it was like I held it weird. I held it wrong. I didn't hold it by the right one and the middle one. I held it by both sides.
You could do that. That was okay to do that.
As long as you weren't playing. Way?
Well, clearly it was a valid way, but you couldn't play basically any game that way. But that's
I did. No. I would have.
You couldn't use those sticks for
No,
if
I would
the
use
like on Mario 64, you had to use the analog stick. So or Zelda or any of those games. you
Yeah,
had to.
I would be holding it on the left one and reach over with my left thumb and
With your 6-year-old hand.
Yeah.
That sounds painful.
That's what I did.
That
And then
sounds really painful.
with my right hand, I would reach over into the middle to press Z.
Oh yeah, I guess you would have to like do this weird reach to the middle.
It was like I had it like this, like I don't know. It was,
That sounds like a hand cramp waiting to happen.
that's why I have osteoporosis now.
Thanks, N64. So anyway, back to the real thousand. Ow, gross.
You're welcome. ASMR.
Yeah, that's what that is. So then, like honestly, the biggest release of all time, one of the greatest games of all time, the one people hold up to everything else is Ocarina of Time.
Such a beautiful game.
And that game still holds up. That title screen with the twinkling music and Epona, Link riding Epona, it just like, it gives me chills just thinking about it. Like,
dude, I could put that on repeat and just go to sleep to it.
There are YouTube videos that do that. It has like the
I
screen.
know.
I've done it before.
I have to. Like, if you go to my like videos you'll like on YouTube, it's like Zelda chill music.
Yeah, me too. Final Fantasy chill music and Zelda chill music. But like you've got this like game that I think the design of is still mind blowing today. To think that they pulled that off in 1998 or whatever, 97, whenever they were building it. But like, I remember playing that game for the first time and being like, I can't believe this is an actual video game. Like, if this is what video games are going to be, like Skyrim would not exist if it weren't for Ocarina. You know what? Basically, any open world RPG would not exist if it weren't for Ocarina.
You're probably right. I mean, actually, I think they would have gotten there. I don't know,
but
it was the groundbreaker. Like, it was the one.
There were computer RPGs doing that stuff, but they didn't have the graphics that game had. They didn't have the game when you used to fight in like an old like the original Elder Scrolls games. It was like a pop like back and forth fighting, like tap tap tap, with a sword. There was no like action to it, and like that Z trigger combat was
Yeah, that's true. And can I also say that the water temple in Ocarina of Time is one of the most frustrating areas of any.
Maybe the worst thing in any video game ever. But the re-release on the DS made that way more palatable because you can just flip the boots on and off with the press of a button.
Yeah.
So much easier.
I did get that. I actually got the 3DS version of that. No,
that's what I meant. The 3DS. That's the one I'm talking about. Sorry. You're right.
That was good. That was so good.
I actually started.
I might actually have to bust out the 3DS.
I got mine
just to
out
play that again.
Just waiting for me to play because I keep that around just whenever I want to play Ocarina. Like that's how good.
There's also lots of other good 3DS games, but yeah,
there's so many of them. That's the game that I like. If I'm feeling nostalgic, like that's the game I go back to.
Yeah. Game is glorious.
But there's also Mario Kart 64, which I know you think Diddy Kong Racing is better, and that's a blasphemous, but whatever.
I put them on the same level.
The first time you played the road where there's like actual cars coming through and they'll like hit you and stuff, like that blew my mind as a kid. Like
the Toad's Turnpike.
Yes, I could not believe it because there's like semis and stuff on that thing, and they'll just like
with
run
ramps,
you over.
Yeah, with ramps and all that stuff. Oh,
and we were talking about this earlier because of the Digital Foundry video, but the Wave Race 64. The water in that, I was like, this is the best video game's ever gonna look. It can't look any better.
It can't.
Like, it blew my mind.
The way like the physics of the water worked, where you would like
you would
hit a wave
up and down on it. Yeah,
hit a wave and go into it and come out and pop out and do a backflip and all this other stuff.
Yes, God, like what a great. I played so much Wave Race 64. It's not even funny. Like I probably played that first level 1,000 times.
Yeah,
because you had to start over every single time.
Yeah,
like, it was always the same thing, but. You didn't care back then because you were like, whatever, I just want to play this amazing looking game.
Yeah, Wave Race was really, really good. You know what else was really good? Star Fox 64.
Oh, you were so right. What a
game. Star Fox 64.
No save, could not save.
No.
Do you want to save? No, F you. You're not going to save this entire time.
Even though we've got memory cards at this point.
No, we don't care about that. You can save right on this cartridge, but can you? No, you're not going to. You're gonna have to run through every single time. And what's funny is that's like the precursor to like a run-based game. You know,
Yeah, kind of. I know,
you're
but I think
because
it's
you can.
unintentional.
No, it is, but like that design philosophy kind of carry through because you can pick like different paths. You know, and it's
Yeah.
like different each time. You can go to the X zone or whatever it was, and
Yeah.
what a great game! Like you could beat it in literally like an hour and a half, but but there were so many different ways to
So
go through it.
good. So good.
Um,
Another one, 1080 the snowboarding games on the N64 were really good,
they were
particularly 1080
1080.
and Snowboard Kids.
I never played Snowboard Kids, but I love 1080.
Both of those were really flipping good, and I kind of wish that oh man, the cat's attacking my dog. So I'm sorry, Shadow. Are you okay, buddy? Shadow just came up to say hi to me, and the cat pounced on his face.
He said, "I'm the only one."
Yeah. Another one that I don't think gets a lot of credit, but I think was good, at least because in my 7-year-old brain, was Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
Oh, yes, dude. That game is probably not good, like if I played it right now, but like you could fly, you had the like on foot levels, you had the X-Wing levels, you had the snow speeder levels, like
it was just an all-around good Star Wars experience.
People who didn't live through that era don't remember this. This is like prequel era stuff. So like there were no other Star Wars stories at the time besides like in the books.
Yeah.
So like this was like the first new Star Wars story that we had gotten in like 13 years or something like that. Like the last movie came out basically when I was born, so I didn't even know what, like I hadn't had any Star Wars story forever.
The episode 1 came out in what, 99?
99, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
Shadows came out in like
before
96. Shadows came out in 96. They released a book alongside it, also called Shadows of the Empire, which I read, and it's amazing. It got me super into Star Wars. Those books actually and that game got me more into Star Wars than the old movies did. But
fun flipping game.
Yeah, that game was great. I don't want to ever go play that game again because I think it's going to ruin my memories of it, because I've heard people say that it's a bad game, but you know.
It was hard. I mean, I was a kid when that game, like when
I think
all
it was hard because
it
it was bad.
Kid. Yeah, like it was. I think I remember it being just, again, kind of like Clay Fighter, kind of mushy. The targeting.
That's kind of a recurring theme within the 64 universe, is that everything runs at 15 frames per second. There's barely any texture work done on anything. Except Ocarina. Ocarina ran really well. There wasn't a lot of slowdown in that game. And so did Mario 64 ran like butter. Like, oh man, what a great
another one that actually ran really well was Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that game
I mean, dude, we would have like, me and my like 4th grade friends would have like tournaments.
Oh yeah,
for Smash Brothers, where we would just like,
not 4th grade, but yeah, a bunch of middle school friends.
Yeah, get together and just go nuts on Super Smash Brothers, because like it's all the characters from all the games that we love. Like it had,
and then a bunch of characters we've never heard of before.
No. I think the original Super Smash Brothers lineup was pretty much all characters that you know.
I think there were a few weird ones in there that I didn't.
Let me see. I'm about to look it up. I think I'm trying to think. Okay, so it was Mario, it was Kirby, it was Link, it was Donkey Kong,
Samus,
it was Jigglypuff, it was Pikachu, and Captain Falcon. And was that it?
Is that it? Okay, well maybe
Yoshi, and Fox.
Oh yeah, Fox, always been cheap.
Yoshi and Fox. And yeah, so it was all characters that you know.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
The 4 unlockables so it was the from the start you get Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, and Pikachu. And the 4 unlockable characters were Luigi, Captain Falcon, Ness, and Jigglypuff. Ness was the only one.
See, I knew Ness because I was a huge Earthbound fan. So
okay,
I didn't know Captain Falcon because I wasn't a
F-Zero
fan.
Yeah, but I didn't know Ness or Captain Falcon. I learned about Captain Falcon because I thought he was so cool in Smash that I actually was like, what the hell is he from? And I looked up F-Zero, and that's a whole nother can of worms. Is why the heck haven't they made another F-Zero game?
Oh man, why haven't they made another F-Zero? God. There's a lot of franchises from that era that I feel like they could benefit from updating. Blast Corps, even maybe. But like, why is there not a Diddy Kong or Diddy Kong Racing? Like that seems like a no-brainer. That seems like a no-brainer to me. Like you could, I guess, because Mario Karts take 7 years to make. They haven't released a new one since the Wii U one. But
I think it's because it's a rights thing. I think Rare owns the rights to Diddy Kong Racing.
I don't think Nintendo would ever let them own that kind of thing.
I think that's what it is.
Because they own the character of Diddy Kong, so I don't think.
Yeah, they own the character, but Rare owns the rights to Diddy Kong Racing.
I don't think.
I'm pretty sure I read that. Because I've looked it up, dude. I need to know.
It does seem like a no-brainer that you would have that game come in and do that stuff. But
did you ever play Conker's Bad Fur Day?
I was never a big Conker person, but
I never played it because my parents wouldn't buy it for me because they said there was too many titties. But
hold on.
Hey.
Monster.
We're taking a break here at the Gaming and Drinking Gas.
I know. See, we're good now. Okay, thank you.
Hey.
All right.
Tell her I said hey.
Adam says hey.
Oh, hello.
No, I said hey.
I'm not gonna say it like that.
Come on. Be a sport. Hey.
Nope. Why are you saying it like that?
I said hey.
Please don't do that anymore. You're gonna get us canceled.
Oh God. I'm gonna cancel this myself.
I feel you there.
Mario Party.
Nope.
Yeah, dude.
No.
You didn't even play it back then?
That's a bad video game.
Did you think it was a bad video game back then?
Yes, 100%. I did not like that game from the jump. My sister loved it, and I did not.
I was a big Mario Party fan. We used to stay up all night playing Mario Party.
Mario Party, not a good game.
And we used to we used to play it over at my buddy Keith's house. He had like the first 3 of them. Like I think the first 3 came out on 64.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And he had all 3 of them, and we would stay up all night playing them. And his dad would come up there at like 11:30, be like, "Y'all need to go to sleep." And we'd be like, okay. And then we'd play like another hour of Mario Party.
I could not. I just never got into it at all.
All right. I mean,
it was never my
go ahead.
The like 1,000 turn thing, and having that board that didn't see it, like it was so random. Like I know Mario Kart is random too, but the board game aspect where you could like literally have all of your stuff stolen at the very end by some guy who got like a good roll because he was super far behind, aka Dan Reichert, like that kind of stuff drove me nuts. I hated that stuff.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's also just part of the fun. Who cares? Like
I don't know. I was too competitive as a kid.
I think
maybe I need to give it a try again now, but I don't know.
I also played the shit out of Cruisin' USA.
Oh yes,
World.
Me too. What about? Did you ever play that G Extreme game? Extreme G. It was like a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, like the light cycle kind of thing.
I don't think that game is good. Like I feel like if I played it now, I would hate it. But
dude,
I played that game so much as a kid. My sister and I loved
that game. I always felt like it was going to give me a seizure.
Yeah, I know, because it was like 120 frames a second when no game did that back then.
That game was wild.
They did like XG2 or something like that. I never played the sequel to it, but I played that game so much.
That was a good one.
I'm feeling like I need to go download an emulator and just to play that one game, because that's like one of my fondest memories of the 64.
Dude, you just like gave me a flashback because I haven't thought about that game in 20 years.
I know, it's a game that you don't really think about, but it was a game that almost everybody played because everybody bought every racing game on the 64.
Speaking of racing games, Star Wars Pod Racing.
Yeah, Pod Racing or Star Wars Racer was really good.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Racer Revenge, not so good, but
this is what I'll say about the Nintendo 64. I'm pretty sure we've gone through about 50% of the entire library.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of games.
There wasn't a lot, but for the time, it was bangers. They were bangers. But like I know going back now, it's like you go back now and they don't hold up.
No.
But for the time, it was just banger after banger.
I think it's our age at the time, like abundant free time, no work. Like I feel like if I played any of those games now, I'd be like, I'll play them for 30 seconds and be bored. But
Yeah.
you know, when you have nothing but free time and you're able to invest all of your time into like learning the mechanics of like the extreme G game or something like that, then you're able to like get this depth out of it that you probably would not be able to get otherwise. And
Yeah.
it's very I would like to get that might be a fun feature, is to go back through the N64 catalog and just play some of these old games.
I think what we're gonna have to do with that, unless we can I don't know how capture cards work, dude. We are such noobs when it comes to this.
I know we could if I got an emulator, we could definitely capture it on here.
Okay, well then I'm super down.
The problem is using modern controllers in place of that piece of shit. Fucking
I wonder if you could like get like a N64 to USB.
Oh, you know someone's made that. You know someone's made that. Some peripheral maker has made like this ugly 3-dong controller for that. You know somebody out there has done it.
Oh yeah. Oh man, we should do that for sure.
That would be super fun.
But
I would
hey,
definitely be down for that as a feature.
Are you down to cut it?
Yeah, this is a good place to stop.
I think, dude, I've had a lot of fun tonight. This has been a really good one.
It's been really good.
Might have gone a little long, but that's okay.
I think it probably did, like we always do.
Yeah.
Apologies to our friends who hate our 2.5-hour episodes.
And also apologize to everyone for the first hour of this where they have to look at Travis's ugly mug the whole time.
I don't think that's going to be something that people are going to need an apology for.
Oh God. All right. Well, we're going to call it on this one, on this here episode 6 of the Gaming and Drinking Cast.
6 episodes in.
Yeah, man. 6 episodes in, and I know they haven't been super regular, but you know what?
They've been basically weekly. I think we missed 1 week out of all of them.
Yeah, we're trying to put them on Mondays, and now it's Thursday.
We're trying. There's been a lot of live stuff in between.
Yeah, we got some stuff going on, but that's okay. It'll be a week to 2 weeks. You know, that's kind of where I'm at with it. It'll be a week to 2 weeks. I'm not promising Monday, but it'll be sometime that week. And I picked a perfect time to end it because you just started going out again. Yep, you're going out again. So this is episode 6 of the Gaming and Drink Cast for Travis Casey and myself. I'm going to be saying good night, farewell until we meet again, and cheers to you, everybody. Cheers to Travis, who seems to be stuck in some horrible time loop. We'll talk to you guys next week.